Hi everybody, welcome back. Tony again here with Shinsho Yoga. And for this week's video, I would like to talk about repeating numbers. And there's a lot of them, so I'm going to break this video up into 9 different videos, because if I try to do them all at once, it would probably be an hour long. So we're just going to take one at a time. But let's talk a little bit first about repeating numbers, and then we'll talk about when you see 111 or 1111. Repeating numbers in modern spirituality, the way it's often viewed, is messages, right? Messages from the spirit world. You may say messages from God, some messages from the universe, right? Whatever terminology you want to use is okay, it doesn't matter. What they are is communication. The universe does not speak to you the same way that you and I are speaking right now, right? You're not gonna, go out on the street and look up on somewhere online. Oh, where's the universe? So there they are. Oh, I pick them up on phone call. Hey, universe. So what am I doing here? It doesn't work that way, right? You're not gonna be able to go to a store and be like, I'm here to talk to the universe. You talk to the universe every day when you're talking to yourself or talking to animals or anything like that. The question is, though, when you talk to them, are you listening for their responses? And their responses are not going to come the way you and I talk. The universe is subtle. The universe speaks in whispers. It's not going to be a billboard it's going to take out. You're not going to drive down the highway and see a billboard and tell you what to do. It's not going to be a frying pan in the head that when they're going to go bonk, hey, you hear what I have to say? It doesn't work like that. The universe is subtle, and it communicates with you, and it can communicate with you in many different ways. And it's really dependent on you, on how the type of person you are and how you communicate, that what it's going to do. Right? And one of the ways it can communicate is through repeating numbers. In our world today, we have plenty of digital displays everywhere. So in our world now, the universe is going to communicate with many people that way. If you go back to 1786, probably not, because you're not going to find a lot of places to see that. Although there could be places with repeating numbers. But it's not going to be like today when you pick up your phone, you look at the clock, what you're on your computer. All day long there's things generating numbers. So for those of us that the universe will speak to that way, we may see repeating numbers. The same thing applies in spirit animals, right? So whenever I do a spirit animal meditation for people and I talk to them and I do a workshop, I explain to them that this isn't mysticism, it's just communication. Right? People often think, we're going to maybe, at the full moon and do a ritual and a dance and, do a blood sacrifice, It's just communication. But you have to listen. And you have to be present in the moment and be aware and be sensitive enough to listen to it. Right? So if you are starting to see repeating numbers in your life, you'll want to pay attention to it. I started seeing repeating numbers about 11 years ago. Right? I worked in finance. I worked in the brokerage industry. I worked in the stock market. All day long on my computer screen was a monitor of hundreds of stocks all day long, the prices going up and down. I worked in numbers all day long. And this is at the point in my life where I decided to start making changes because I didn't like the way my life was going, and I wanted to take it to something that mattered more. And this is when I began to see repeating numbers. Now, the repeating numbers, in order for them to be a communication, they can't be something that you created. Meaning, like if you just decide to write down 1111 and put it in a drawer and then come back later and, I'm going to open the drawer and see if I see it. That's not it. If you set your alarm clock for 4:44, right, and it goes off at 4:44, that's not it. If you make your license plate, you get a vanity license plate and it says 777, that's not it, right? Repeating numbers, when you see them, are going to be out of nowhere, for lack of a better way to do it, meaning that you wake up every night at 3:33. Every morning when you check the clock at the same time, it's 11:11. And I'm not saying you set yourself to check at 11:11. I'm saying that you go to the clock and you go, oh, 11:11. And then the next day you're like, what time is it? Oh, 11:11. And then over the weekend you go, wonder what time it is. 11:11. You're sleeping. You wake up in the middle of the night. Oh, what time is it? 4:44. Oh, it's odd. Go back to sleep. Next night you wake up again. Oh, again, what time is it? 4:44. You see where I'm going with this, right? Every time you look down at the odometer on your car, right? You wonder, and you see, right? You maybe use a trip odometer. How far have I traveled? 222. Huh. Right? You maybe reset it when you get gas, and then next time you go, wonder where I am at 222. Right? Or 22.2. Right? The repeating numbers have to be something that you didn't plan, something you didn't set up, and it's basically happening in the mundane everyday life, but they keep coming up. If it's something happening in the mundane everyday life that you do, nothing particular, and it keeps coming up, it means something. It's a message, right? And you'll want to pay attention to that. Now, what does the message mean? The messages can mean different things for different people. If you look these up online, I've found lots of different explanations, and the ones I'm going to give you today are the ones that speak to me. Right? They're the ones that make sense to me. Sometimes I've read some things and I go, that is as far out there as you can get. That's not for me. Other things I've read, I go, that sounds good, but I really don't know what that means. And other things I've read and go, I get that. And that's what you really have to get to. It has to be a feeling, right? It's not something you can think out. The message from the repeating numbers that you find can't be the message that it's just one you want, like, oh, it must mean this because that's what makes me feel good. No, it's not about being comfortable. In spirituality, it's never about being comfortable. We didn't come to this plane for comfort. We came to this plane to grow. So you have to be uncomfortable to do that. So in finding the meaning behind these, your mind has to be still, right? Which is going to come from meditation and our yoga practice. And you have to see which one speaks to you. Not the one that's comfortable, but just the one that speaks to you. It's often a feeling right in here. Right? And you have to be sensitive to that feeling. If you're trying to do it here, it's not going to work. This is not something to be cerebral about. This is something to feel. And you have to be honest with yourself about it. So again, it can't be what you want it to be. It has to be what feels right. And there's a specific feeling you'll get here, between here and here, when it's right. So, let's talk about the first number to talk about that you'll see as repeating numbers, either triple one or quadruple one, or in any numbers one, right? You know, little caveat on this: if you work with computers and binary code all day long, you may see this often, so it might not be in that one, but in general, if you are looking at your clock and it's always 11:11 or 1:11, right? 1:11, right? Or you look at your odometer on your car and it says, 111 miles or 11.1 miles, or you wake up in the middle of the night at 1:11 in the morning, etc., etc. You go to the supermarket and you buy something and it's $1.11, right? These things you want to pay attention to. And basically what it's meaning, what I have found it to mean, is that an energetic pathway is opening. Gates are opening. Doors are opening. Right? And we have to be mindful of our thoughts. Right? We don't want to fall into negative thoughts or negative habits. It doesn't mean we don't have them from time to time, but we want to be mindful of our thoughts and try to maintain a positive and gratitude-based mindset. Right? Because things are beginning to open. Pathways are beginning to open for you, right? And it's a reminder from the universe that you are in control of your life and you can manifest the things that you want in your life, the life that you want. But you have to be mindful in that energy that you do and watch the thoughts and what you do. So if you are seeing 1111, 111, 11111, whatever it is, a gateway is opening. And we want to be mindful with our thoughts, stay present in what we do, Avoid the negativity, avoid the negative thoughts. It doesn't mean that if you have one, you've ruined it. It just means we stay away from that. So if you read that and you go, oh, a gateway's open, you don't want to go, well, but nothing good ever happens to me. It's probably going to go bad. Oh, a gateway's open. That's good. I'm lucky. I'm fortunate. I've done a lot of hard work, and I'm glad that that's happening. And I'm looking forward to what's going to happen. It's a nice day out. I think I'll go out for a walk. Being mindful of our thoughts, staying out of negativity, so we can feed what we want to manifest versus what we don't want to manifest. Again, it's just communication. So if you're seeing 1111, 1111, 111, anything like that, be mindful of your thoughts. Gateways are opening. Stay grateful. Try to stay positive, not false positive, but positive, right? And just be mindful of what you're focusing on. So that's it for 1111. Next one we'll do is 2222, and so on from there. And just stay present and breathe and follow your breath. The thoughts arise, pass by, and return to your breath. Thanks again for watching. Namaste.